Hey folks, it's Dave Wood here. I don't have the best light. It's a little bit late at night. I got some people in this house sleeping here and want to be quiet. So in case my eyes look a little bit bugged out or something like that, it's the lighting. They're actually fine. Hold on. I've got, if I put this, no, I can't. There you go. Yeah, they're actually fine. So I'm doing well. I want all of you to know that. You know, this is going to be a very quick video. And hey, what's up, Nick? It's good to see you. This is going to be, I'm going to go ahead and tell the story of what happened to me May 20th, 2017. Okay. And when I tell this story, I want everybody here to understand, and go ahead and media attention and some, if any of you have blogs I could guest blog on, you know, feel free to put a link, say, hey, you can guest blog at my blog here in the comments. You know, hook me up with an account or something like that, and I'll go write some emails, or I'll go write some copy, you know, that's related to your target audience to get backlinks to my site. That would majorly help out. And this is serious, by the way. Okay, so you know, I don't want anybody thinking this is anything but real news. And the reason is because this is what happened to me personally, and I've been talking about it now for a year. And it's time for this to get out because the things that are happening to me are absolutely, completely incredible. So real quick, what I want to do is I tweet this just real fast. Hold on a second here. And after I tweet it, I'm gonna post it on Facebook and no, I'm not gonna post it. So real quick, what I want to do this just real fast. Hold on a second here. And after I tweet it, I'm gonna post it on Facebook and no, I'm not gonna post this on Facebook right now. I'm just gonna tweet it. Hold on a second here. I'm just gonna write down. I'll say out loud what I'm writing. I gotta look up on the screen because my computer screen's broken. So I'm gonna say I'm on YouTube. Live right now talking YouTube live right now talking about the scientific discovery I made in 2017 on May 20th that made me immortal. And also, I want to talk about scientific studies and potential funding and profit opportunities. All right, there we go. One. All right, I got this. All right, I just tweeted that. Now I'm going to come back here. Now I'm going to get started. So let me explain kind of what happened to you guys, okay? So I actually have a really interesting story in my life. I kind of was born thinking that I'll live forever. I've always thought, I've never thought ever in my life have I ever, this is just a weird thing with me. I've actually never been worried about that. Now, the thing that I always thought with that was I thought that I would discover it through like making money and like some sort of technology, Mark Zuckerberg or Google founders or whatever, you know, the founders of Amazon or some big company would make some sort of tech with some sort of computer that had entered into a singularity. Now, if you guys don't know the concept of the singularity, and all this is important background to understand the discovery I made and the proof that I actually am immortal, which needs to be proven in laboratories. And to do that, I need money, I need testing, I need my genetics looked at. There's all sorts of stuff that we need to do. I might not need my genetics looked at in order to prove that. It's pretty actually easy to prove with what's happened already. And so essentially, you know, a bunch of weird experiences in my life where I should have died and I didn't, or I should have gotten hurt and I didn't. Like I've never broken a bone in my body. You know, I fell out of a tree before and landed on cement and just like got up and there wasn't a scratch. I slid out in front of a school bus and like the bus crashed into the side of my car. But it just, I mean, these were things where like it missed my vital organs. So this was way before the immortality technology, and this would kind of make people live forever, or Jesus would come back and change our bodies or whatever, because I'm Christian, obviously. And so and I'm also Jewish. And so that's what I thought would happen. Well, what happened to me was actually quite different. I had been building a company for a couple of years. I did like $200 million in sales online, doing blogging, and I earned a new one, like 100 to 2 or 3 weeks of randomly putting posts on there, and I haven't even been linking to it. I'll probably get like 1,000 visitors a day here. I'm not even emailing like out to the email list or something like that. And that's theteachingsofkingdavid.com, right? So you can go there, you could register, you could subscribe to my channel. But basically, something else happened to me, and this is what happened. I was actually looking for emotional healing, and I've always been like sort of like a chemist with my body. Like I used to take tons of nootropics. I don't anymore. I used to just like, I still take tons of vitamins. Like I take vitamins like out of the zoo. My dad taught me that. My dad used to take like 10, 15 vitamins a day. He was an Amway, you know what I mean? As a rep, his real job was a judge, but he was an Amway. Like, we grew up around that environment. But in any case, hold on, I'm gonna check something real quick. No, it's fine. Keep going. So in any case, I essentially was in a lot of emotional pain, and I needed healing like desperately, and I had tried everything that I knew how to try. Like I tried getting help. I tried. I had tried going and seeing a therapist. I had tried like this emotional damage that I have, and I don't want to talk about it just in the past. But I'd messed up relationship I've ever loved in my life with my wife, with my kids, and I lost my family, and my business was falling apart. And like I was just really in a dark place. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place where you've had to reach down inside yourself and find something that you didn't know. Well, that's where I was, and I had just one thing got messed up after another, and then finally I was like, my business was almost gone, and I was like desperate to change things. And then what I did was I took an approach. I was like, there might be a different way of going about this, rather than therapy or Tony Robbins events or like NLP or like doping myself up on caffeine. Or, I didn't take caffeine, a bunch of caffeine. I was addicted to like ADHD medicine. I didn't I didn't do that like huge amount, but like I took ADHD medicine, just throw it away, just throw it in the trash, deal with it, let your brain heal, and find another solution other than using testosterone, because like I was just overloaded with work, making excuses for everything, not really realizing that I should have just put that company down or changed it big time. Just overloaded with work, making excuses for everything, not really realizing that I should have just put that company down or changed it big time, or just stopped it and canceled it out and started something new like years ago, because it was kind of eating my soul. I'd kind of lost myself. And if you're wondering why I keep looking up, it's because I've got a TV up there and I look down at my camera. So in any case, in the last thing, what I did was I started looking for solutions in medicine and biology. Because I figured I know that if you're in a down spot, one of the easiest ways to get around that is to grow the brain. Right, like if you look at neurogenesis, every time you grow a bunch of new brain cells, because when you have brain growth, you stay positive, and that's why if you're using your mind a lot, people tend to stay in like a really positive attitude and positive spirits. Is because the more you use your brain, the more energy you have, and the more positive your brain gets. This is actually how it works, how your brain works. If you want to change your brain, you just want to wake up and allow your brain to change. You can just allow your brain to change now. And so what happened to me was I needed my brain to change. It was taking a little while to figure it out, and then I found some chemicals that had been studied that basically that I discovered, of different chemicals that I discovered shut down every single inflammation response in the brain and turn on every neurogenesis response. And what that means is that if you shut off inflammation, that's what breaks the brain down and causes cell death, or causes like lack of optimum function. And then if you turn on neurogenesis response, neurogenesis is the growing of new brain cells, right? And so I was basically targeting this at emotional pain that I had. So for a very long period of time, and basically what happened was that I set this intention, and I just put this concoction together that was like ultra strong combination of chemicals that I'm keeping basically to myself right now, but basically what I call the Sephiroth, which is I believe that I discovered a chemical combination of chemicals that I'm keeping basically to myself right now, but basically what I call the Sephiroth, which is, I believe that I discovered a chemical combination that is actually the chemicals in the Sephiroth, which is the Hebrew word for the tree of life. Now, I need scientists analyzation that is actually the chemicals in the Sephiroth, which is the Hebrew word for the tree of life. Now, I need scientists and laboratories and some government permits and stuff, which I'm not going to be able to get for $100,000. I'm actually probably going to be able to get supplies, and I'll probably be able to find a place where I can do what I need to do without red tape, because I don't believe we have time to do these studies to help the people that I need help. Now, to be fair, with the studies, I'm going to do them on myself. And the reason I am is to prove the safety of what I'm doing. And then we can arrange some sort of study that goes into some other people that have been openly working with me. Like, for example, I took a girl who had her name is Alice. I took a girl that had a victim because she said she put herself in a bad situation. This is how emotionally okay she is. She had broken ribs and like right there, and then like literally her ribs healed. They were freshly broken, shattered ribs, and they healed completely in 5 days. Okay, so I've also done some various things. I actually have a series of chemicals. I'm going to do another video on this that have allowed me to see in the dark with perfect accuracy. I'm talking without the need for. I'm not talking like dark vision goggles. I'm talking about like literally. If I have access to that. It's like a series of things. I have to talk to somebody like some scientists about it, because I'm not going to share this information. Which is not time. Okay, and literally, I'm talking with my eyes closed in new places that I had never been, being able to with my eyes closed. Okay, so I was doing that with a chemical reaction and also some application on electrical energy applied to biology. Okay, that technology to give people who don't have eyes the ability to see, but I have to test it, and the reason I have to test it is because I've only tried this on myself, because I'm okay experimenting on myself, because I'm immortal. I'm not mortal anymore. And how do I know that? Well, I discovered this thing, and I set this intention to. It's always important to set an intention before you do anything. Like, my intention with this video is to get $100,000 in funding by May 20th, 2018 for this project. And so here is the deal. That what happened to me is I put together some herbal stuff and some chemical things that are all things that are related to growing the brain, and very small scientific studies that have been done around the world. I spend like 20-30 minutes a day reading scientific studies, and I read extremely fast, especially right now. So I have a lot of information and data in my head about a lot of very different things for a guy my age and who doesn't work in like politics or something like that, right? And I'm getting smarter every single day. So basically what I did was I set an intention and some self-hypnosis and all things that I'm skilled in, and meditation. These are all from like me trying to get help for myself in order to heal these issues. And what happened is, hey, what's up, Joseph? What happened is I actually was not expecting what happened next. Where I went through this process where I went through and really got healed of all of the emotional pain I'd ever had in my life. Like I'm talking like it was about 7 hours of like meditation work, and like literally all of the pain that I ever had in my life was healed. And then I'm not going to talk about this in this video because I don't want to get into spirituality and mix it too much into science. Although they do mix. I have a whole theory on that connects together superstring theory with the multiverse, with theory of relativity, with theories on consciousness that are existing right now, that are the physical dimensions, and also theories on consciousness that come from practices with yogis that also combines together like religion and science in a way that actually is the only thing anybody has ever come up with ever that explains the entire universe. Okay, and I'll go over that, all-encompassing theory of everything next a bit. But I did this in a year being a non-scientist. Okay, in the majority of my life. You know, I read a lot of scientific studies, and I love science. I've not been a scientist, right? And so I've studied chemistry and biology and stuff like this, and so I'm more familiar than the average layman, but I'm still a layman here, and I need some help because what I'm doing would be much more effective if I had access to some lab stuff, okay? And this is important for healing children, for healing the oceans, for healing trees, for healing humanity of their issues. Because if I can heal my issues like this, I mean, I was an alcoholic. The next day I was not an alcoholic. You know, ADHD medicine, like I was saying, the next day I was not addicted to ADHD medicine. I felt hopeless, and then all of a sudden, my depression was totally like that. I'm talking about in hours. I've taken rape victims, torture victims, people with massive post-traumatic stress disorder, alcoholics, and ran them through the same healing process and had a 100% success rate with everyone that has gone through the process with me. We've had positive outcomes, even though sometimes it didn't happen in the way that they wanted, or it wasn't what they were expecting. Okay, so basically, I've had a 100% success rate in recreating the results. I also, because of the expanded ability of my consciousness, can do very strange things that I want to prove in a lab. I have no idea how to even test some of this because I haven't written out enough of the theories. I'm focused on one thing right now, and that is the science of immortality and the internal compounding and expansion of consciousness, because this is what we need to get humanity to focus on things like healing the trees and the waters and the rainforest before it's too late. And it's not too late. It's on time right now. Okay. I was just arguing with somebody, a friendly argument on Facebook, because I don't really have contentious arguments because I don't have any contention anymore. It's gone. And that's because of what happened. But now also, I have been able to maintain a very even keel emotion over some very intense persecution this last year. What I mean by persecution is, you know, people who have known, you know, I'm a prophet, I'm an enlightened, and I'm a Messiah king of Israel. Now, here's the thing: for the sake of science, I don't care if any of you believe this. I want to prove it, okay? Because this is what I'm Jewish. I'm also Christian. I'm also Mormon. I'm also Islamic. I'm a part of all true beliefs in the right ways and not in the ways that people are off track. But I actually think all the religions aim harmoniously together because of the way that I have it. So I'm not going to get into that again. Let's change subject back to science. I just want to kind of like bring this up. So basically, I have this person that's just focused on money all the time to somebody that's focused on like just talking about enlightenment. I was kind of like lost for a while. I didn't know what to focus on because I didn't care about anything. All I cared about was like looking around because I'm in nirvana, mind orgasm every second of the day. And like, that's how I feel all day long for you. Even when I'm going through, because it doesn't mean you have to go through pain. What it means is that you can embrace the pain and then you can release the emotions in a different way. Because no matter if you're enlightened or not, doesn't mean that people can't hurt your feelings. You got feelings, you know. So intense persecution this year, and it was you know, self-created. And what I mean by that was in the past, and I've kind of worked my way out of it now. But in the past, basically, I was doing some things that because I was saying things in a way that came across as pushy, because I have energy like 500 little kids right now. And, you know, I run all day. I'm 37 years old, and I run all day like a 1 month, like a 1-year-old kid that just learned to walk. I mean, that's how much energy I have. I'm really like a 5-year-old kid. I mean, if you can imagine that. I'm like that, and I'm 37 years old, and I was not like that. I mean, I guess I was using testosterone. For years, my natural production of testosterone turned off. It got totally healed in like 2 months, right? Actually spontaneously rebooted because I stopped using testosterone after I was enlightened. And my testosterone just spontaneously rebooted. I was like feeling like really low energy. And then I had this idea that like spiritual, I asked my brother for a blessing and it was just instant. But I don't want to get into miracles here because it's going to distract from science, and then some science that are like rolling our eyes or whatever. It's okay. I know that you are. And I'm here for you to talk about whether or not the things I'm saying are true, and if, you know, who can prove them. Okay. And I would actually prefer a combination of a Jewish scientist, a Christian, Islamic, and then people that are atheists or non-religious in there, like a mix to make sure that nobody's distorting the data for the sake of religion. And I have energy like I have energy like I am 5 years old. You know, actually I have more energy and play a 4-month-old baby who's the most energetic baby that any of you have ever met. What happened is that I basically you know, he has a lot of energy and I have more than that. So I mean, you're talking about like my brain, guys, works so well right now that I cannot even, you cannot even imagine. Now I'm a little tired, so I'm getting distracted, and I still get distracted because this is part of my personality. Okay, I'm learning to train this out of my brain. It's going to take a long time to train this out of my brain, right? Because I was enlightened through science, not through meditating all day like they do in Tibet, which is also powerful and useful, right? So in any case, though, what happened was, you know, I'm in a pain, and then I have this spiritual awakening. And then I just had this laughing and, you know, cooing and things like this. What happened next? Well, what happened next was there was a guy that was working for me in a company, and he tried to kill me by drugging me in the stuff that I was making. He started putting amphetamines, copious amounts of like hallucinogens, and all sorts of stuff in there that I don't, all I know that I know for sure that I have in laboratory tests was the amphetamines. And the other stuff I'm just guessing from some of the stuff that just happened, that happened to me. And I'm not saying this is a victim, I'm saying this is the story of how it got out, okay? I want to be really clear that I put myself in that situation, and it was my own and the past addictions and stuff that got me there. And now I'm out, and so I don't want to blame somebody else for something that I created. Does that make sense? Or I co-created, definitely. And so in any case, yeah, so he basically tried to kill me. And I got drugged with enough amphetamines to kill several large people, maybe a couple of horses, 3 times a day, every day for a month straight, okay? My skin aged is actually in the article I have below in the comments. And be sure to subscribe to my channel on your way down there. So basically, this is like copious amounts of getting drugged. Again, not blaming anybody. I put myself there. And then what happened was, there's a breakdown that I had from, because I didn't realize I was taking the drug. I just thought I had superpowers. You know what I mean? Like, because I was like breaking, you know, my skin is like resistant to heat and like cold and like, sharp objects and stuff now, like I can still cut myself, but it's like getting harder to cut myself like every 24 hours. And yeah. I should, well, with the interaction, there's a scientific interaction with some of the chemicals that I was putting in my stuff. Some of them that basically that chemical interaction with a tiny amount of amphetamines should have killed me. So why am I alive at all? Well, first of all, you know, I think this is my personal opinion that God was protecting me. It's a miracle. But second of all, my skin aged like 30 years. Like I've got witnesses, testimonials about how bad my skin was. And then literally in months, without going to a skin doctor, without anything like this, my skin reversed from like aging 20 years from the damage to how I looked like 5 years ago. And now my skin look around the way that I did when I was like 30 years old, but I still look like maybe 32, 33. But I guess from shooting at my skin, the youngness of my skin is pretty high, but I still got the wrinkles. I got to regrow my hair. I figured out how to fix vision. I figured out how to fix all sorts of biological problems. I believe that I could heal somebody of autism in like, you know, the main core problems with their autism. I think I could heal in like 24 hours to 7 days. I think that this is all beliefs. These are theories of mine, and these theories tell you guys I can do things with my brain in math, physics, spirituality. Like I can literally hold like trillions of things in my head at the same time. Right now, I'm not talking about working memory. If you're a scientist, like my working memory, I still need to train that. I still think it's probably above average, but maybe below average because I've been training it. And I come from, in the past, being really ADD, and I've been a little autistic in the past my whole life. And I still have those tendencies, but the problems in them, the majority of the problems, they're gone. And we're talking about 11 months. And the majority of the problems in my attention deficit disorder that I used to have, which I actually don't think is a disorder, I think society's messed up. I think I'm going to call the attention, the only pay attention to what they want reorder is what I would prefer to call that, because when we label people, it boxes them into something, right? Yeah. So yeah, basically I'm getting younger, Joseph, and everyone around me notices it when they're around. I mean, I run around with more energy than a 5-year-old kid. I can punch like 10 times a second, and I'm getting faster, right? I can move not with my legs, but with my hands. I can move my hands faster than Bruce Lee. And so, you know, basically I have a theory that combines spirituality with science that basically says that I discovered some chemical interactions that combined with my biology for some reason completed a Sephiroth, which is a chemical structure that appears in sacred geometry patterns. Now, I believe that this is what I believe. I believe that well, I don't think I know that's how it works. I'm just telling you, I know. But like I call it gut instinct. We'll call it a gut instinct as a higher power type instinct thing for the sake of this video. I know how it works already. The Sephiroth, the chemical pattern, basically once the Sephiroth is there, any 10 chemicals would complete the Sephiroth. Any 10. So I mean calcium and magnesium, whatever, and then you'd have like the other 8 chemicals, and you'd complete the Sephiroth. And the Sephiroth is the tree of life. And I believe that I don't want to talk religion here. Okay, let's just call it that and call it my theory that mixes that combines spirituality with science, the quantum universe. Like I could explain to you how the quantum universe. I'll do a video talking about my theories on consciousness, my theories on multiverse, my theories on time travel, my theories on how the Mandela effect, like alternate realities and how they can collapse into this one. I mean, I've got the ability in my consciousness right now to think in chunks of time of thousands of trillions of years, backwards and forwards in time, thinking about everything at once. Now my intelligence is expanding like every 24 hours. Okay. So rather than just saying, oh yeah, that sounds too out there. Yes, it does sound very out there, but what if we are looking for the singularity? But what if, okay, what if the singularity, right, is actually our biology? Like our biology is written from consciousness, from our higher powers, from all of them, and us working together because we're all one energy. And what if, just from a scientific perspective, right, what if that our consciousness actually wrote our genetics, okay? And if the consciousness wrote the genetics, all right, then that means that the genetics could potentially be written to rewrite themselves when introduced to consciousness. So, for example, if you get people meditating, fruits and vegetables, you know, generally being kind of like spiritual, loving, kind, good citizens in society, whether they believe in spirituality or not, whether they're Mormons or Christians or whoever they are, right? What if our genetics are written when introduced to consciousness to rewrite themselves? And therefore, that would explain a lot of the unknown stuff that my rabbi is a guy named Gabriel Cousins. He's an enlightened rabbi, and he runs the Patagonia, the Tree of Life Rejuvenation Center out of Patagonia, Arizona. Yeah, what if this is going to become the new normal? This is going to become, people will do it faster than I did because of me. Because I'm going to discover the science. And what happens is my theory of consciousness. The consciousness is essentially quantum energy. I'm not going to get any more than that till my other video, because I got to like draw diagrams and like, you know, explain to you like the 5 dimensions, the 4 main dimensions of consciousness and the 3 interlocking dimensions and how they work in the temporal relationships between them. And this is all stuff because my consciousness can see this stuff. I don't see stuff. I don't hallucinate with my eyes or anything like this. But my consciousness, I can actually separate out my consciousness. And you know, go observe the universe. And you can call that my imagination. But what if my imagination is actually observing what's there, because what's there unfolds from the imagination? Wouldn't that be interesting? Right? And that'd be like what Buddha talked about. And that's why enlightened people would have their ability to do, you know, weird miracles, for example, that are also at the same time can't be proven. You know, so a lot of times somebody will get enlightened and then they just get obsessed with trying to prove all the miracles they're doing, and they get lost. for a while, and then they kind of like figure out that people just, you know, they can't see it. But then what if part of the consciousness is actually hiding the miracles to give people the opportunity to have their own decisions to grow spiritually, for example? So that would be why people are always questioning miracles and questioning whether or not they actually happen, is because it's their own walk of faith, because the miracles are actually unfolding from the quantum energy, the faith of everybody, that there'd be a biological counterpart to faith. There'll be a spiritual counterpart for faith. In my theory, the spirit is actually in another universe, right? And that's why we can't detect it, because we're looking in the wrong place. We're looking with the wrong kind of instrumentation because we don't know what we're looking for. Well, what we're looking for is looking for quantum energy in another universe, right? And what do I mean by another? More accurately than another universe, I would call it another paradox. So a paradox would be, you have, for example, what's the left hand without the right, or the right hand without the left? Well, neither exists. What's the chicken without the egg, or the egg without the chicken? Neither exists, right? What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, they emerged from each other, right? I heard once a person say God created the chicken created the egg, or the chicken laid the egg, and it's like, okay, I got that, but like, let's say there's a higher power there, and let's say there's spirituality in there, right? What if opposites actually cause the emergence of each other from the existence of nothing, right? Like I have a theory called the emergent reality, or the paradox universe, where behind this universe there's actually an emergent reality where from consciousness, from oversight, it could be as little as 2 overlapping rules that are, they'd be very complex. And this would all of the people in the universe and all the animals and all the thinking and dreams that all consciousness has, and all the planets and their consciousness is all basically causing emergence of the universe together, right? Backwards and forwards in time with the higher powers of all of us, right? That's actually more how that would work, that like scientific laws, for example, emerge from spirituality, from consciousness. So, for example, from the paradox universe, there's no scientific laws there, other than there's a bunch of like, you know, interweaving like laws, and there would also be something behind the paradox universe, and it would go on forever and ever and ever and ever. For example, in my theory of the universe, right, you'll never stop finding smaller. There's nothing that's the smallest particle, because the universe never stops getting smaller. It never stops, ever. Because in the process of looking for something smaller, you're actually creating the next level just by looking for it, right? And you're causing its emergence from the quantum universe. So the more we look, the more of a small universe we create, right? And then in my theory, we would actually be from that the biggest thing that exists. So there would be like planets and worlds, universes, all in the cells in your biology, with different kinds of people and beings that all emerge from consciousness and evolution, just like we do, right? Evolution and consciousness overlapping on top of each other. Right? Does that make sense? And you see how advanced my scientific thinking is, regardless of whether you agree with it, right? I mean, who comes up with theories like this, right? I could explain I go on really 50 hours with unique scientific theories that I have, and they would never stop creating, because I'm creating them with my consciousness as I'm talking about them. That's how fast I can think, right? If that makes sense. And so the reason I wanted to bring this up to you, and to you know, share my thoughts. And you know, I know it's like 1 in the morning. I'm probably going to walk out to the Vegas Strip here and just observe it here for like a few minutes at least, and go. You know, I'm here in Las Vegas right now visiting a friend, and I just want to go observe things. You know, if that makes sense. And so, in any case, that's basically my theory. I need funding. There's a link in the comments. If you could click on the link and read that. Subscribe to my and that's going to give you updates, okay? That'll all be content and value driven. I will sell products there. I'm a business person, right? And I'm practical, but they'll all go to the ministry, which is going to like rebuild Jerusalem, feed kids, you know, feed homelessness, scientific research, you know, take our constitutional liberties back, get rid of the issues of expanding government and limiting the tax to a flat tax that's an incise tax of 10%. Which is the way the government should run. They should be able to run everything off 10% incise tax, and if they can't do that, then they need to fire people. Right? Period. Government does not need to be bigger than that. Churches do a better job feeding kids. People are more prosperous when they have more money. People are better when they're free. Period. Right? And so you know, these are all. I've got economic theories. I've got, because economics would also emerge from consciousness. Everything emerges from consciousness. I think. So my theory is, you could call it the theory of consciousness, which is actually, I've solved the hard problem of consciousness already from observing it, because I the hard problem of consciousness have always been solved by enlightened people, but they haven't have access to the right information. So I've already solved the hard problem of consciousness, and I will do another thing explaining exactly how consciousness works scientifically with biology and where that comes from. Okay, I think that humanity needs to evolve right now. Bingo, bingo, bam, bingo, bingo, bam. It's like an anchor in LP. Every time I say it, you're saying bingo, bingo, bam. You're like, yes, save humanity, right? Building the universe, right? So, you know, what I want you to do is I want you to click on the link right now. Click on the link right now. I want you to click on the link right now in the comments. Go ahead and click on the link right now in the comments. Click on the link right now in the comments. And as you're clicking the link right now in the comments and you go there, you know, that's going to take you to my blog, and then you can read the article that I wrote on the discovery of immortality. I'm out for now.